I'm serious about this. My cat, first of all, my cat is like, I'm going to she's gonna beg. So it's not like it's a cat. Some people's animals are ridiculous. She's like, you put them in
Like, why?
Yeah. No, but I'm saying some people's animals are. No, but I wouldn't mind. Like, I'm just saying, but some people are like this. No, but even if they were, you know your animals, so you know they're out here. Let me put them in whatever. But if my cat ain't bothering you, she just walking around her house and she ain't gonna. My cat will look at you like this. Even if you have to end more people, my cat don't bother you, so you can't tell something to put away if she's not bothering you. Get out of here. So I would be like, you gotta leave.
Hey.
There's something down there that she's knowing.
You're having a good time. You're having fun. I told you he's a sniffer. We don't go on walks, we go on sniffs. He's in heaven right now, smelling all of this grass. And it's new. He's never been here before.
And the grass over there at my place is good too.
He's never. It's a new
I just don't like those water bugs over there. I seen them sat down the other day, got took having a spot, and I was like, and I feel them before I even see them. I feel them. I'm like, why do I feel water buggish? Different other bugs of like whatever. The water bugs I know. I'll be like, and I know, and I'm looking for it. And I'm like, Michael, you being too panicked. It ain't no water bug. All of a sudden, 4 or 5 of them 16. I was like, nope. They come out the wood planks. They be in the wood planks and they come out of them, man. And there's water over there too. So they love being over there. Come on, boo-boo. Come on.
Hey everyone. Sorry I'm late as always. We'll get started here in just a moment. But as always, if you can hear us and if we're streaming in 1080p, just go ahead and leave a like in the comments. It is Copa America night. We have Argentina versus Chile. And it's currently 0-0 at halftime. So we'll be periodically checking the score throughout the night. Thanks so much for joining. Alright everyone, I think we can go ahead and get started. The chat is broken again tonight, unfortunately. It's alright, we'll figure it out. But good evening everybody and welcome back to Walks and Wall Street. Today is June 25th, 2024. It is a Thursday and it is 9:59 p.m. Eastern Time, almost 10 o'clock at night. Reporting live from 5th Avenue and Central Park South. We're sitting directly across the street from the beautiful Sherry Netherland Hotel, one of my favorite buildings in all New York City. It's a beautiful night. Humidity has subsided a little bit. It's not too hot. It's actually a little bit of a chill in the air. You see Trump Tower, Plaza Hotel, all that good stuff. A few things I'd like to point out. Hold on, Troy Admin says Tom, it says 720p. Let me see. Something's going on with the stream tonight because, I don't know, the chat's not working, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Man, that's a bummer. Anyway, screw it. Let's just get started because I got to get my other phone out. Give me a sec. See who we have in the chat. I see Lance. What's going on? I see Extreme Window Tinting. George, Scott, Solo 4. Thanks for joining us. Doc 7, MD, my side of the system. Troy Atman. Interesting action, everybody, in Tesla. Now, I never like to call a bottom. I think I'm almost confident that Tesla is bottom. It's looking pretty good. And I saw an interesting Cybertruck today on 5th Avenue. Lots of interesting action in the market. Low volume. Not too much to write home about. And we're also seeing a little bit of interesting action in commodities. Let me just pack up my bags and we'll go ahead and get started here. I see Professor Dario. What's up? And a beautiful night in New York City. So I'll do the best I can. The chat's not working, so I have you guys up on the second phone to try to read as many of the comments as possible. So we'll see how that works out. Anyway, I apologize for being late yet again. It was a crazy day. This was probably the craziest day I've had all week. Just really, really wild stuff going on. Very busy in the office late, but all is good. So let's go ahead and head down Central Park South. We'll go on the other side of the street tonight and start to head down towards 34th Street, Penn Station. Now the Copa America is going on tonight. We have Argentina and Chile playing. I believe the score is 0-0 at halftime. But play should resume here momentarily. Alan says lots of money being made, it sounds like. I wish. We just got to keep trucking along. Oh, that's right, the Subway Series. The Subway Series is taking place right now. Completely forgot about that. The New York Yankees and the New York Mets are playing tonight. So big night for sports in the tri-state area. It was funny, I didn't know that it was Messi's birthday yesterday, and they were staying in some hotel in New Jersey, and there were thousands and thousands of soccer fans outside the hotel wishing happy birthday to Messi. Beautiful view of 432 Park Avenue right here, everybody. Stunning, stunning sight. We'll go down to 6th Avenue or Avenue of the Americas and make this left, and we'll just head down. We'll try to take it easy tonight. Kimberly, what's up? MD, welcome. Ooh, a Collector's Dreams is a big party is going on in Times Square for Argentina. Now, I saw that last night. Maybe you're right. Maybe there's a big viewing party. Lots of fans, Argentina fans in Times Square. We'll check it out. We'll see if they're still there. Might as well. Walking past the One Central Park South, which is the residences here at the Plaza Hotel. I see RB, what's up? Mohammed Youssef, what's up, Mohammed? Good to see you. All the way from Egypt. Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. Looks like they're shooting some movie over here. I walked past it earlier. I don't know if it's a movie, I don't know if it's a TV show. We'll try to figure it out. But a little bit of a bounce day on Wall Street. Semiconductors had a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a relief rally after that bludgeoning we had on Monday. And I think you're starting to see a rotation now into a lot of these other beaten down names. Number one, I'd say Tesla. That stock really looks like it is bottomed. Now, not to call a bottom on anything, that's not what I do, but if you take a look at the newsletter that I sent out on Thursday, we talked a great deal about Tesla, and the sentiment and the fundamentals are kind of cooperating here quite nicely. Over the past 2 months, there's just been relentless bearish news, negativity around Tesla, even from some of the major shareholders, some massive shareholders in Tesla. Almost seems as if they're turning their back on Elon Musk. Sentiment is bad, fundamentals look better than ever, and this stock has just been getting walloped. But it's been making some pretty good headway over some major overhead supply, back above moving averages, and you know, we'll see. Maybe this will be the third time that Tesla arises from the dead. We'll actually make a left here. Last night we went all the way to Columbus Circle. We'll cut it short here tonight. RB's Tom spent a few minutes earlier watching other New York streams. Thank you so much. Very appreciate that, RB. Very kind. Tim Fields says all Cybertrucks had another recall today, 3rd or 4th one so far. Now, you know what's interesting about the Cybertruck, and I've mentioned this before, whether you like it, whether you hate it, whether you think it's the best thing in the world, whether you think it's a piece of garbage, whether you think it looks like the most aesthetically pleasing vehicle on earth, or whether you think it looks absolutely ugly and horrid. The Cybertruck, and really think about this for a second, okay? The Cybertruck is the only vehicle where you see it on the street and there'll be 4, 5, 6, maybe even a crowd of people taking pictures of it, taking photos with it, talking about it, sparking a conversation, saying, oh, look at this thing, it's so weird. Oh, look at this thing, it's so ugly, it's so crazy, or it's so beautiful, I want one. There's no other vehicle, none, not one. Not even Ferraris nowadays, not even a Rolls Royce, where you'd walk past and say, oh wow, look at that. Not to the effect that Cybertruck breaks necks, as the kids on the street say these days. So check this out. I was walking down Fifth Avenue today, and look at this Cybertruck. Let me see if I can show you guys. But it was just such a cool, interesting Cybertruck. It had this rainbow kind of LED light, and there must have been like behind me and to the side of me, huge group of people taking photos of it. And the reason why I bring that up, right, and the reason why I think it's an interesting point is because Tesla really markets itself. Number one, Elon Musk is the marketing department for that company. The amount of attention he gets, both good and bad, just brings a whole new turbocharge to the company. You know, you would never walk down the street and people are like, oh wow, look at this Mercedes, oh look at that Cadillac Escalade. The only vehicle that I see that draws attention from both stark critics and obsessive Tesla fanboys and fangirls is the Cybertruck. And I think there's a lot more value in that little detail than many people are thinking about. Now again, maybe I'm overstating that, but I can almost guarantee if you're driving down the road in a small town in America and the Cybertruck goes by, everyone's gonna say, oh, look at that thing, look at the Cybertruck. Everyone. And there's a lot more power in that than many people think. It's branding, it's marketing, it's a conversation. And I think that's a big value proposition for Tesla. Now I think this 100 West 57th Street building, I believe this is a land lease building. And that's why a lot of the units in here are so cheaply priced. You can get, I think, a 1-bedroom or a studio in there for like $200,000, but it's because it's a land lease. All right, let me catch up on some of the comments as we make our way through this construction zone. Professor Dario says, I think because it comes from the future, maybe that's why, for sure. Ain't says, Tom, I don't have to wonder. Look at the resale value wholesalers are offering. If they even want a trade-in. Yeah, and we talked about that, we covered that. And that's a main reason for the stock getting decimated. But if you pay close attention, Elon told Wall Street that he was going to cut prices and dilute everybody. Little Poots says your audio is a bit quieter than usual. We're having some technical difficulties tonight. Which we'll work through. Brad's Brain says, I've seen every variation of the Cybertruck now here in Houston, and all of them have one thing in common. They are ugly. We will never agree on this one, Tom. And I think that's fine. And I think that's the point I was trying to make. You know, it sparks this crazy conversation. But ugly or not, people stop and look at this thing. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. People all the time stop, look, and take pictures of this thing. And you can't say that about any other vehicle. Hey, Els, thank you so much for your very generous and kind $1 donation. I appreciate you very much. Dylan says, I've seen so many more Cybertrucks here in Miami than in New York City. Generally speaking, I have too. But you're starting to see some more stick their head out here in New York, for sure. What's the old saying in marketing? All press is good press, you know, within reason, right? And Elon Musk gets about more attention than anybody else on this planet, and he spends no money. He has the platform. I don't know, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Esmeralda. This is all publicity is good publicity. Yeah, I think that's the more appropriate and polished phrase for sure. We're now walking past the Hilton and 53 West 53rd. I'll give you guys another look at 432 Park Avenue and the beautiful Steinway Tower. Hey Angela, thank you so much for your 1 CAD donation. Appreciate it. Carl Roth says, Tom, funny you mention it. My mom thinks Lamborghinis are ugly. I think so too, you know, if I'm being honest. I think the Lamborghini brand has really, really been tarnished over the last, I don't know, I'd say 8 years. Where before, and at least for me, I won't speak for anybody else, but let me know in the comments if you agree. For me, when I think of Lamborghini now, I think of charlatan. That's what I think of. And I think it's because of all this, you know, online marketing and, you know, gurus and things like that. So the connection in my brain, when I see a Lamborghini, I think of a charlatan every time. Maybe that's just for me, but I feel as if the brand of Lamborghini has been very, very tarnished over the years. It used to be a cool sports car. Now I just think, oh, you know, the guy driving this thing is probably a charlatan. Yeah, maybe they're not, but that's just the connection that it makes in my brain. Joel PM says Lamborghini is the new meme. I just think the exclusivity is kind of been taken out of the brand, I guess. And I'm not a car guy. I'm not really a fan of vehicles or cars, but I don't know, what are your thoughts? Madison 32 is talking about Chipotle's stock split and if we have any opinions on it. Not really. I don't think personally a stock split is a catalyst for a stock, or at least in my view it shouldn't be looked at as a catalyst. I don't think a good thesis, both bullish or bearish, should be, you know, the stock is going to split 50 for 1 and I'm going to buy it because of that. It doesn't change the valuation of the company. It doesn't change any of the fundamentals. If anything, excessive stock splits oftentimes can coincide with, you know, oftentimes maybe even a contrarian indicator of things are getting a little bit frothy in the market. So I don't know. I wouldn't say anything. It's just a stock split. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's going to. There's no real fundamental change. It's just exactly that, a stock split, which will make it a little bit less intimidating for people to purchase the stock, or quote unquote more affordable, air quotes. What I think a lot of novice investors don't understand is that if you buy, it's possible to buy a $300,000 stock and have the $2 stock be more expensive than the $300,000 stock. If that makes sense. Look at how beautiful this view is. Radio City Music Hall. Fantastic. But I think Chipotle is probably the leader, if not the leader, in the group for fast casual restaurants. And that sector of the market, or that group in general, has been performing pretty well. You have Chipotle, you have Wingstop, ticker symbol WING, Cava, Sweet Green, all of those kind of stocks are in that group. And by far, you know, Chipotle has been the leader up there with Wingstop, which is also a really great scalable business, by the way. Wingstops are absolute cash cows. Now, many people would say, oh my gosh, the stock is so overpriced, it trades at such a high multiple. But premium companies trade at a premium for a reason. Premium companies trade at a premium for a reason. So you're never gonna have a leading stock in the market be cheap. All the leading stocks in the market are gonna be expensive because Wall Street is assigning a premium to that company based upon the predictability of the earnings, etc., etc. So you could say, oh my God, Wingstop is so egregiously expensive, which it is. But the scalability of the business, the margins are great. It's just a very good business overall. Jack CW's is Chili's parent Brinker Eat, ticker symbol EAT, up 120% in 1 year. Alan says, Tom, I have a fun question. What's the best financial advice you've ever been given? By far, it's been, and this applies if you're young. If you're in your teens, let's say if you're watching this right now and you're 18 years old, sacrifice 18 to 27. So just say to yourself, I'm gonna sacrifice 18 to 27. I'm gonna do nothing but work, build my career, shoot for the top, live so ridiculously below my means, bank and invest all my money, and then wake up when you're 27. It's gonna be difficult, but you're gonna be so thankful that you did that. So when everyone is out partying and, you know, going crazy and not working hard and enjoying their college years, if you could do the exact opposite and really, really go all in, I mean, really push it from 18 to 27, try to literally save every dime, invest every dime, make big pushes, try to make as much money as possible. Because if you're 27 years old and you have a few $100,000, or if you're lucky and you really kill it, you have a few $1 million, well then you can kind of take your foot off the gas, ask yourself the question of, okay, what is it I really, really want to do? And then go pursue that. Most of the advice, the general advice, is backwards. People say, chase your passion when you're young. When it should be inversed, right? Because if you really go after what you're passionate about when you're young, you can make a very big mistake, go in a very, very low paying career, or maybe not get paid at all. You wake up at 27 and you have nothing. But if you do the inverse, you're still a kid at 27 years old. You're a little baby at 27. And if you have your own capital, you have your own freedom. Then go, save the world. Go open that coffee shop you wanted to do on your own dime. You don't have to answer to anybody. And then you can make big, concentrated bets, big, concentrated plays, and really start to swing for the fences. So I would say if you can do it, sit down. If you're 18, sacrifice your entirety, 18 to 27. Be an absolute animal. Save and invest every single thing you make. Try to make as much as possible. Wake up at 27 with the big nest egg and go explore your passions. Travel the world, take 5 years off, go to Italy, go to Spain, do whatever you want, whatever you want to do. Live in New York City, live in Miami, and it's awesome. That's the advice that I was given, and it's fantastic. Again, not for everybody, but it's kind of like that advice that Professor Scott Galloway gives. And I don't see eye to eye with everything that Professor Scott Galloway says. But one of the things where I really, really agree with him, I think he's a really smart guy, is he says, don't follow your passions, pick something that you're good at. Find your talent early, identify it early. What are you talented at? What are you good at? Because that's where you're gonna have your edge. And then double down on that, because that's what's gonna be the money driver for you. And then once you have a little bit of a nest egg, well, then you could explore your passions. You could have that time to do what you want. Kind of the inverse of usually what people say. So, and again, not for everybody, but that's just for me, I guess. All right, let's walk a little bit down, and I'll catch up on some of the comments. The chat is broken tonight, so I have to pull it up on my other phone. All right, let me try to read some of these. I'm on my other phone here, so bear with us. Gord says, in other words, don't get married. No, I think finding a good partner in life is near the top. Hey, Funky Child, what's up? Alright, let's try to check out some of the Argentina fans here. Because Argentina is playing Chile. I'm afraid that if we go into the Times Square neighborhood, we're going to start to buffer, but what the heck, we'll try. Might as well. Tom, what is your passion? I love the markets. I love the financial markets. I'd do it if there was no money in it. To me, it's like, some people like, whatever hobby. If they like skiing, they like snowboarding. I like the markets. I'm obsessed with it. I'd do it if there was even no possibility to make money. It's interesting. It's incredible. You get to research the world's greatest companies. It's awesome. I don't know, what would you guys say? You guys ask me a lot of questions. I'm more interested in what you say. What's the best piece of financial advice that you've been given? Anybody in the chat over the years? I think I'd be quite curious to know. I guess I'd say I'm also passionate just about freedom in general. You know, I like being able to go to Miami. I really like wildlife, the beach, being able to come and go as I please. That's just what I like. It's generally low stress, things like that. Just passed a CD guy. I thought he was gonna come after us, try to sell us a CD, which I think is a very poor scam nowadays, because if you think about, if you're a CD guy in New York City, right, trying to pull the old CD scam, most of your target scam audience doesn't even know what a CD is. Who listens to a CD anymore? I don't even think they sell traditional CD players. Anyway, this is a beautiful shot of the Empire. Rod case, compound interest, time, value of money, and gold and silver. Peter says buy low, sell high. Joel PM says after you max your 401k and your IRA, 529 college savings plans offer nice tax-free investments for your future children. Very nice. What's up, Cosmo? Hey, what's up, Ike? Good to see you. Mr. Bagman says stay bullish DCA during bear markets. Buy a little more stock every 5% drop. Yeah, quite interesting, right? Brad's Brain says buy high, sell higher. Oh wow, CS says I bought 10 CDs yesterday. People still listen. Interesting. I don't know, I just feel as if it's not as practical. Yeah, I think if you were born in the year 2000, you probably don't even know what a CD looks like. Second Street. It's a beautiful night in New York, and the Empire State Building is lit up for the Subway Series, I believe. So the New York Yankees are playing the New York Mets. I'm not too sure who's winning though. Not a big baseball guy, but if I had to pick, I'd say the Yankees. I'd say I'm a Yankee fan over the Mets. What would you guys say? Ooh, Shannon says Messi came close to scoring just now. I have Argentina winning the entire Copa America. We'll see. Let's see how many Argentina fans are over here. Seeing a lot lately. I've been seeing a lot of abandoned city bikes around the city. I don't know what that's all about. It's like probably seen about a half dozen. Hey, Sabrina Ferris here. What's up? Cosmos says I remember when they won the World Cup. Times Square was buzzing. I could imagine. Yeah, I was in Miami for that. Big Argentina fan though. Tim says, hey Tom, they had a huge Argentina fans gathering at Times Square yesterday. Well, let's check it out and see if they're there now, but we're probably gonna start to buffer We'll give it a good college try. We'll see. Let's continue to head down. If you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams pretty much every night, starting at 8:45. Let's see what we got. Wow, it does look like there's a lot of people. We're about to pass the NASDAQ. Actually not seeing too many Argentina fans here. Just very crowded with a lot of people. Look at how tight this squeeze is. Argentina fans are probably in the bars watching the game. It's quite busy though here. Have I tried Carlo's Bakery? I don't think I have actually. I know that that there's two locations. One is on the other side of the Port Authority. We'll cut straight through to 8th Avenue to escape the crowd a little bit.
That's still gonna get me.
This is that Raising Cane's place we were talking about. Now, I just quickly want to mention this before I forget. We had a conversation maybe last week talking about opportunities in healthcare. And one of the things we unanimously agreed on was home healthcare, you know, aging at home and things like that. Now, a buddy of mine who's in private equity sent me a link to this place, the Sunrise Living Facility, which I think is almost right around the corner from our office. And the dollars that they can command is really astronomical. So I was looking at the breakdown. Do you guys want to take a guess what the entry level, let's just call it, package is? Okay, if you want to put, you know, your loved one in the Sunrise, you know, assisted living facility, just a studio, right? A studio with just the basic amenities, you know, care facility. Does anybody want to take a guess at how much that costs per month? Now, this is Manhattan, so maybe it's a little bit skewed to the upside. But this is the lowest package, by the way. Just to give you an idea of the demand, I think the place is almost full. But on a monthly basis, Jeff's is $13,500, Rod K's is $15K, Mark's is $5K, Lisa's is $5K, Alan's is in Manhattan, it's $8K, Soho Joe's is $4,000, Norm's is $4,000, TK Porsche's, my guess, is $20,000 a month, MD's is $10 to $15 grand a month, MG's is $13,500. Many of you are very, very close. So for a studio in the Sunrise Assisted Living Facility, right around the corner from my office, it's $15,000 a month. And that's the lowest package, okay, for a studio there, 15 grand a month, right? You get all the care you need, you know, assist. So it's like, you know, it makes me think, and I was thinking about this today, because my buddy who works in healthcare private equity, he kind of like does those big deals. And I'm like, damn, like that is so out of reach for the average American, right? I mean, is it not? It's so out of reach. So I think there's really going to be a big pocket here for aging in place, because most people, right? And again, I'm using big generalizations. So let's just say most people is not going to be able to afford something like that. You know, $15,000 a month, you know, to have mom or dad or whoever, right? Family member in one of those facilities at the lowest package in New York. But, you know, maybe they could afford, you know, a home health aide to come 2 times a week, 3 times a week, whatever that may be. So I think both of those businesses and just healthcare in general, if you look at the trends, the percentage of GDP that Americans are spending on healthcare continues to increase every single year. So I think home healthcare, assisted living facilities is going to be a really, really lucrative and great business. But I was almost kind of taken back when I saw some of those numbers, because I was familiar back in 2014 and 2015 at what some of those numbers were, and it seems as if they've increased about 30%. So I don't know, I just wanted to throw that out there because I remember we had a conversation about it. But my follow-up question, and I want to ask the chat, and I really mean this, by the way, wherever you are living in the world, you know, or wherever you're living in the United States, Doesn't necessarily have to be in New York, just to kind of give the audience a broad range of what these services would be. Because remember, this $15,000 number, you're in Midtown Manhattan, this is probably very skewed. But what are those numbers if you're familiar in your hometown, wherever you are located? Maybe you're in Tennessee, maybe you're in another big city, maybe you're in San Francisco. What is kind of that median number? Or to get the same services, what would that cost where you live? I'm curious. Sorry guys. But the main package, or I should say the lowest package here, is $15,000 a month. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Chinook Wind says 4,000 to 5,000 CAD a month. Gets you a sweet, almost hotel-like bachelor unit in Vancouver. Well, I mean, we're talking about like the assisted living type facilities. So they have, you know, on-premise nurses and things like that. Let me pull off to the side here to see if I can read some of the comments. Tariq Khan says the old folks aren't paying out of pocket. They're reversing their mortgage and selling their home to pay for this with Social Security benefits. Not all times. So, and maybe you're right, but the kind of deal that I was looking at that my friend sent me, a lot of it, you know, in Manhattan, you know, the kids are very wealthy. Their kids are very wealthy. They do really well. Maybe they're a big banker. Maybe they're a big private equity guy or girl. And they spend that much money to put their parents in those places, which is really admirable, by the way, right? You should always do everything you can to help your parents. I think everyone should do that, right? Your parents take care of you when you're young. You got to return the favor in their old age. In any event, that's steep for anyone, right? At any income bracket. I always like looking at these three holdouts here. G5400 says lots of retired Americans are moving down to Mexico. I think I read something like that too. Jeff in Southern Tier, New York says, hey Tom, my step-grandparents were at a local facility. Full assistance, $19,900 a month for the two of them 7 years ago. Wow. That's crazy. That's wild. Hey Katie, what's up? And Dimitri. Interesting. Vroom Vroom says, I looked, Washington DC has the highest average cost for assisted living, $11,500 a month. Crazy. You know, to kind of parlay the conversation, one thing I noticed, especially having, you know, friends in Korea, it's just a very, very different culture. In the United States, it's almost kind of stigmatized, you know, and almost looked down upon if you live with your parents, right? It's almost like it comes off as an insult, like, oh, you live with your parents, what a loser. But in other countries around the world, the family unit, it's very, very normal to live with your extended family well into your 30s, even when you're married. And if you think about it, particularly the environment we're in now with inflation, I think more American families should really try to band together and stick together and kind of build that family unit, and you would probably build wealth so much faster. Right? Imagine if you're a family of 5, mother, father, 3 kids. All the 3 kids grow up, they're all living separately. Each one pays $2,500 in rent. That's almost $10,000 in rent just there. Then you tack on the parents. Between the whole family, you know, it's very possible and very common that between the whole family, everybody has an individual separate expense of like $20,000. Imagine if everyone came in together, you know, bought a deal together, you know, lived in each individual unit, scaled up, and then bought their own properties down the line. You know, there's this really good, interesting mini documentary series on YouTube that everybody should watch. It's about the motel business in the United States. And apparently there's this one Indian family that owns the vast majority of motels in the United States. And they did exactly that, right? They were hardworking immigrants, came to the United States. They bought one motel, they lived in it, the family operated it themselves. And then once they had a little bit more extra money, guess what they did? They bought out the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And then in 3 generations, you know, they're worth 500 million, $1 billion. So it's almost as if, like, I love the entrepreneurial spirit of America. I really, really do. But at some point, to me, when I reflect on it, sometimes it can come off as a bit wasteful. Am I kind of off base on that? And this kind of, you know, struck me today because it's like, all right, you spend $15,000 a month on the assisted living facility, but what if you had, you know, your mom move in with you, your dad move in with you? And I know that's not always feasible, but try to keep that expense in the family unit, owning the assets and building out your own infrastructure as a family instead of giving it to everybody else. I don't know, that's what I was thinking about today. Not to rant, but just kind of came across my mind.
But anyways, there was a guy sitting, yeah.
Hey, Legna says, or Jess says, I'm so excited to be in Manhattan in 42 hours. Nice, well, welcome to New York City. I think you're gonna like it. It should be a pretty fun weekend coming up. It's gonna be more Copa America games, if you're a soccer fan. This is going to be the construction site of the Torch Building, 748th Avenue. Oh, is that right? Argentina just scored? Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. Yeah, you're right. In the 89th minute. Won't tell me who scored though. So the game's almost over, right? 1-0 Argentina. Nice. Who scored that, by the way? Doc Seven says private equity is destroying what's left of healthcare. PL 830 says no, you aren't off base, but remember there are groups who have been locked out of access to funds, generational wealth. That's true. Martinez, very nice. Cosmos says, would I ever travel to Argentina? Absolutely. Absolutely. I really like people from Argentina. And since moving down to Miami, and I say this every single time we talk about Miami, but I've really gravitated towards Little Buenos Aires. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's 72nd Street to about maybe 90th Street, right in North Beach. Lots of immigrants from Argentina, great community, great food, great coffee. Just really, really fun people, positive people, good attitudes. They're happy to be here. And yeah, I mean, I'm down to visit Argentina, especially now, by the way. I'm very bullish on the country. I think the new president is going to turn the entire country around. Last month, I'm not sure if anybody knows this, but last month in Argentina was the first month ever where there was no food inflation or higher food inflation. So we talk about inflation all the time on the live stream, and there's triple-digit inflation in Argentina, you know, 100% plus. But last month was the first month in quite some time where there was no excess food inflation, which is great. Andy says, I'm from Argentina. What part of Argentina are you from? And do you ever visit? Do you ever go back? Do you ever visit your family? Friends? Yeah, Professor Dario says, yes, you were right. It's like a miracle. Trust me, I am very, very... My bullish temperament on Argentina is growing almost similar as my bull thesis has been on India. I think you're really going to see that economy freaking scream because you're bringing back free market capitalism, the greatest system ever created. Okay, when you have free market capitalism, you have prosperity, you have opportunity, and you have economic growth. When you have socialism, you destroy and you degrade society. So this is going to be a 180. This is going to be, I mean, this is just going to be amazing here. I mean, you're having, and this could potentially, right, not to get too much into the politics, but it only takes one country, right, to flip the script, install free market capitalism opportunity into its economy, and then next thing you know, Latin America is a big sweep of freedom, prosperity, and free markets. And that would be very good for the United States, particularly southern states like Florida, the gateway to Latin America, and a new economic renaissance and prosperity for all. It's possible. All right, 42nd Street, the Port Authority bus terminal. Professor Dario says the real estate market is near stop. They're near it because of the recession. You know, it only takes a little bit of outside investment to spark a new bull market. Now, oftentimes when you're talking about emerging markets, you'll have a lot of these analysts on Wall Street that are super fundamentalists, right? They're these value investors, and they'll be like, wow, look at the premium that US stocks are trading as it relates to emerging markets. And of course there's going to be a premium for US stocks to trade against emerging markets because it's the stability, right? The biggest problem with many of these emerging markets is the political instability. And the one thing, even though the United States is crazy with the politics, compared to the rest of the world, we have individual freedoms and individual property rights. And that is the most important. You can't say that about a lot of places around the world. So there's a reason why US equities generally always tend to trade at a premium, and a hefty premium at that. But if you start, you know, substituting socialism for free market capitalism and things start to really pick up, investment dollars from around the world are going to start to want to participate in that. And it's going to bring about stability to the nation. And then that's when you get the the big US institutional money involved. That's when you get the big institutional money from Europe involved. And that's how new bull markets are formed. So it's possible. I mean, it's possible that we're just in the very, very early stages of that. But political stability is the most important in order for that thesis to play out. Hey, what's up, Mark? This is Tom. How come we never get to see the inside of the Port Authority bus terminal? I think I've showed you guys in there before. The honest reason, there's no internet in there. Anytime you walk in there, it's going to start to buffer. I've tried it a few times. I think this was last month I took you in there, but there's no internet. It's the same thing with the Moynihan train hall. I always try to take you inside to see the brand new Penn Station. There's no internet. You would think, since they spent $1 billion on the project, they did a great job, by the way, I'm not complaining, but you would think they would fortify the cellular network for Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile. You can't use your phone in there. I don't know why. So once that changes, I guess we'll go in. Oh, Rodrigo. Ah, Rodrigo from Chile. Hey, I mean, to keep Argentina at 1-0, you could almost chalk that up as a win. You know, you're playing against the best player on earth, Leo Messi. So to only lose by 1 goal. You know, Chile is not the strongest soccer team, but good performance at that. Now, I was very surprised at the Brazil game. Anybody watch the Brazil game? I think it was a 0-0 draw. I feel as if, you know, when I was growing up, right, like during the peak time, I was like obsessed with soccer. Middle school, high school, Brazil was the top dog. Like you dropped everything when Brazil was playing, because so many of the players, they just had this state of flow. And I think if you know soccer or football, for those on the other part of the world, you kind of know what I'm talking about. You know, there was no better Brazil team than when you had Ronaldinho, than when you had Kaká, when you had the original Ronaldo. There was no players like them, and they dominated. And now I feel as if they're not even that good. They're not even really that fun to watch anymore, the Brazilian national team. But they were always my favorite to watch back in the day, because all of the players had that flair to it. Maybe Neymar was kind of the last hurrah with that, but Neymar's not playing in this Copa America. Neymar is gambling. He was at some big poker tournament. There's this hilarious video, if you go on Twitter. Neymar was just randomly at this poker tournament, and I think he took this guy for like $1 million at the poker table. It was hilarious. I'm not sure if anybody saw that. Thomas GS says you should have seen Ronaldinho's comments about the national team. What do you say? Now, the Italy game was awesome. They won it in the 90th minute. This guy's standing in the middle of the road. All right, headed past the New Yorker. If you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams pretty much every day starting at 8:45. David says hello from Ukraine. What's up, David? Now, speaking of emerging markets, kind of bringing it back to the financial talk, the stronger US dollar over the last few years has really been crushing emerging markets. You know, weaker dollar is really going to help emerging countries, but with a very, very strong USD, it makes it very, very difficult.
Like under Amazon.
Looks like something's getting out of Madison Square Garden. You can see since we're getting towards the Hudson Yards, it's very windy now. What went on at Madison Square Garden tonight? They're ripping up the road here. Let's go up here and get a bird's eye view. This is Moynihan. Hey, what's up, Western Mass Dave? I know, Divines, that dude in the white t-shirt just littered. I don't get that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I was gonna say something, but I just think I'll keep my mouth shut. That's one of the worst habits you could develop, is littering. When I see someone who, you know, openly litters, the worst thing is when you see someone sitting in the car, they roll down their window, they just throw their trash on the floor, and they roll their window back up. What I see is just extremely low IQ, like the most bottom of the barrel, brainless, low IQ when I see people doing that. Like, how could you possibly think that that's a good idea? To sit in your car, roll down the window, throw your bag of chips on the sidewalk, and just think that's like a normal thing to do. Like, I just, when I see that, I automatically think extremely low IQ. Anyway, this is a pretty cool view of the Empire State Building. Now, I don't know if this is a malfunction here, but it looks like half of the color scheme is a little bit off. Doesn't it seem like that? It seems like the lights are out on the side of the Empire, like there's a malfunction going on, but still a pretty cool view. I know, Dave, this is no litter. I've kicked someone out of my car. It's terrible, man, it's terrible. All right, let's take a lap around Moynihan. Towards Hudson Yards. You got B&H on the right. Now this week we're going to look forward to some inflation numbers. We're going to get some PCE data out. Go ahead and make this left. We're walking right past 1 Manhattan West and 2 Manhattan West. cross back over into the futuristic part of the city. Now sometimes if you're lucky you can see rabbits all over here. There's like a family of rabbits who live right in here. Alex's window. I plan to travel back to Miami. I may fly back July 1st and have a very, very short trip from the 1st to July 4th and fly back to New York City for the 4th of July. I gotta figure it out, but it looks like that's gonna be the case. I have a few things to take care of. But I'm definitely happy to get back to Miami for sure. We're about to come up on the New Moynihan extension. But this is a pretty cool view of the Empire from here. Right when I turn around. It's quite nice. This is probably one of the better views of the Empire. I gotta show you guys this during the day. Maybe I'll film a standalone walking tour here, but you could dine outside, have great views of the Empire State Building, and it'll wrap you all the way around the Hudson Yards. Windy though, it's the only thing. Peaceful over here though. And across the way, look, I'll stand up on this bench. You can see all the way over to the other side of the extension. And that is the High Line. kind of come up here and watch the traffic. Yeah, Alex's Argentina reported zero inflation in foods for the first time in 30 years. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. That free market capitalism is coming back to Argentina. And I'm very, very bullish for the future of Argentina. This is cool, bird's eye view, looking down on everybody. I feel like they should just set up a 24/7 webcam just overlooking 10th Avenue. You can watch the traffic go by. It's kind of crazy standing right on the edge here though. I'm surprised they leave the tables and chairs out after hours. You would think they would bring them in. This is that Whole Foods, one of the best. Coffee bar here. It's nice. And this big wood structure is the $50 million Moynihan extension. This little connector bridge. $50 million for that. Looks kind of nice. Yeah, Western Mass Dave's inflation is global, so kudos to Argentina. I don't think people understand how monumental that piece of news is because, and I always make this analogy or this kind of comparison. Here in the United States, we complain about 3.5% inflation. Most recently, 3.3% inflation. In other parts of the world, you have triple-digit inflation. Like Argentina, it's over 100% per. Whoa, look at that. It's a cool color scheme for the empire. It's this crispy blue. But yeah, so I mean, Argentina, triple-digit inflation consistently. So making progress on that, it's unbelievable. What do you guys think? Cool view, right? Professor Dario says it's like living in a nightmare. Well, I'm confident that's going to change. Well, I guess I'll ask you. I mean, you live in Argentina. Are you optimistic about the change? What is kind of the temperament on your new leader? What are your thoughts? Is the overall sentiment of the Argentinian people, is it positive? Is there hope? Kind of what's going on over there? Will 34 says, Tom, did you decide if you're going to be doing the live stream during the presidential debate? I don't know. I feel as if it's tentative. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Because I kind of want to watch it, even though I'm kind of checked out on the political stuff. I just want to watch it for a few laughs. But I don't think there's going to be any laughs because there's no live audience. You know, it's not going to be the original, you know, nonsense that it usually is. That's the entertainment value. Now, on one hand, many of you are probably saying, Tom, it's not supposed to be entertainment value, it's the presidential debates. And I understand that. But does that mean that I don't want entertainment value? No. It's entertaining to watch the presidential debates. And when you make it so boring, no live audience, CNN hosts, it's like, come on. You know, let's let things rock a little bit. And let's let both of these guys do their thing. You know, Joe Biden will probably hold his own in there with Trump, and vice versa. So we'll see what happens. But I don't think there should be so many restrictions. Let it play out like it always does, and that be the end of it. I'm also not a big fan of CNN. Well, that was the most obvious statement I probably have ever made. But I'm not a big fan of CNN really cracking down and saying no other people can use the debate footage for commentary. Like, dude, who the hell do you think you are? This is a presidential debate. It's obviously fair use. There should be left-leaning commentators being able to chop up the footage and make their commentary on it. There should be right-wing commentators being able to do that, and every which way in between. CNN can't come in here like, you know, a Gestapo and say, no one can use the footage from the debate. Dude, like, that's the most free and fair use footage ever. You know, everybody should have readily available access to that footage to do whatever they want with it. Make commentary, you know, do whatever. Add it in newsletters, you know, write opinion pieces about it, add clips. I don't know, that's how I feel. I think it's very different as it relates to a presidential debate, because people deserve to see unedited footage of the candidates that they're going to vote for. So 2 thumbs down for CNN. Big L for CNN as always. And that's not a politically motivated statement. I think the biggest liberal left-leaning commentators should be able to use that CNN debate footage any which way they want to help educate their audience, make better decisions. Same with the right. So I just think this is another greedy move by CNN to try to save themselves from their ultimate demise, which they're going to fail and go out of business within my lifetime. That's just a guarantee. With all other main corporate media outlets. I mean, the ratings are in the tank. It's bottom of the barrel. Independent journalism is really the future. I believe, and a lot of the top talent that was at CNN are now just doing their own thing. And they're going to be more successful doing their own thing because they're not tied and bound to the chains of corporate media. So I think more independent style, laissez-faire, more honest journalism, I think, is the way. Not being bought by, you know, paid pharmaceutical ads and the like. So we'll see. Wow, look at how gorgeous the Empire State Building looks tonight. It's almost a little unreal. See, the Empire is a timeless building. The Empire State Building is never going to fall out of fashion, ever. It's just such a staple icon of New York. Hi everyone. Well, it's getting late. It's 11:30 at night. It's been a long day, and it's time to get some rest. But I think it was a fun stream. Congratulations to Argentina for their victory tonight. I'm gonna go get some sleep, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And we'll meet back here at 8:45. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And we'll see you all here tomorrow at 8:45. So Esmeralda, Eyeglass Lady, Western Mass Dave, Rat, Austin City Limits, Professor Dario, thank you so much for your insights on Argentina. TK Porsche, MG, Muhammad, Creative, Tim Fields, Joe C, Soho Joe, Sabrina Fair, Victor C, Lisa Myers. There's always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. I'll see you all right back here tomorrow. Take care.